Hey guys, this is PainUser, and I want to welcome everybody to the official release of the Strategy Bunker YouTube channel. Our website is www.stratbunker.com, and we are an organization of some of the best Starcraft 2 pro gamers. Myself, Apollo, DeMuslim, Az, Damaga, Straylock, and soon to come other big name players as well. We are all StarCraft 2 instructors. We give lessons. You can check me out. I'm a Terran instructor, and again, my name's PainUser. But anyway, that aside, this is going to be the first official audio analysis from a Strategy Bunker representative, and this is going to be myself versus Cruncher. This is a ladder game I played during the second day of release, and I believe, this guy was actually 18-0 at the time I played him, so we had a pretty intense game. Right here, I'm just scouting about with my SCV, looking for an in-base proxy. A lot of Protoss players on this map, Steppes of War, like to send that initial scouting probe directly into your base, and they'll build gateways either here or here inside your base without you knowing, and zealots will be in your mineral line about 5 minutes into the game, and it's extremely difficult to deal with if you're not prepared. So anyway, here he's harassing my building SCV with his probe. I pull an SCV off the line to deal with it, just to make sure that I can get that racks up and get my orbital command going. Back at his base, my opponent is getting an early cybernetics core. Gonna get that early stalker out, deny my scouting, and then most likely push over to my base and see what's going on. Now, right now, I'm just scouting his base out. As you can see, I've got my SCV with a bunch of rally points queued up in his base. Just keeping busy. Trying to see if he does anything sneaky. And he does drop an early second gateway, so I thought he was going to go for some kind of maybe 4 or 5 gate all-in. I'm just so used to dealing with that on the ladder. It's a very common strategy these days. Now I'm just scouting around my base with my Marine, making sure he didn't leave a probe hidden in here somewhere in one of the dark spots, because he could use that to actually scout my build order later on in the game and find out exactly what I was doing. You never want to let your opponent do that. I actually had an SCV up here in his base that I use later on in the game to gather some information, so he didn't bother to check his base out. He wanted to come straight to my base and make sure that he scouted out my build order and poked my front door. And if I had just had this concussive shells upgrade a moment earlier, I would have been able to take out this initial stalker and then push straight across to his base and do even more damage. But right now, my train of thought is just to get these 2 early Marauders out and then apply some early pressure. And now that my concussive shells upgrade is done, I can apply some decent pressure while snaring any of the early gateway units he may have out. Let me turn my attention to his point of view real quick, so he could see that bunker going up. I was just trying to be cheeky and put a bunker up outside the range of his gateway. And now, let me slow this down real quick. What I'm doing here is just trying to do as much economic damage as humanly possible. I know he's going to pull probes off the line. I know he's going to fight me off, so I'm just trying to pick off as many probes as I can. And now I'm turning my attention back to the stalkers. This early pressure was quite successful for me, I feel like. Flustered him, threw him off, managed to kill 4 probes. But I've seen this Immortal out, and now I know that he's going for some early Immortal pressure with a couple stalkers. So my immediate response is to drop a bunker back at the top of the ramp at my main base, because all I have to my name is 3 Marauders and a single Marine, so there's no way I could hold off a 2 immortal, 3 stalker push, which it looks like is what he's going for. It's a rather unorthodox build, but still a lot of very potent in the early game to get a few immortals out like that. They're very powerful units. And now I'm also getting my second command center going behind my ramp, because I know I'm not safe at this point in the game. And he's actually coming straight up in on my natural. I'm going to go ahead and poke the front door. If I hadn't had this second bunker up, I'm pretty sure he could have just ran me over. Thankfully, I do have my bunkers up. And my stim pack upgrade is about to come through. And I'm also adding another barracks here. And I have added my ghost lab. Or my ghost academy, rather. So I'm going to get that early ghost out, because I know he's going heavy immortal. And I'm just going to bide my time. Build up that bio ball that's so effective in the early game against Protoss before they get Colossus or Storm. And here I'm dropping my natural, but I'm making sure only to Maynard 5 SCVs. I could have sent many more SCVs, but I know that my natural isn't fully secure, and I know that it's still in jeopardy. And I also have a feeling that he's still floating around out here. So this SCV actually has a run-in with death, but gives me some vital scouting information. Now that I know he's still floating about out here, I'll be more careful. Now he actually makes a very good maneuver right here and drops a force field directly on the ramp, splitting my army in half. Picks off the lower half of my army. And then this was actually a huge mistake on my part, not lifting off my command center. But I do manage to land a very clutch EMP, hitting his entire army. Now he's forced to engage. And I do get to kill his entire army right there, but at a cost. I did lose my natural expansion. So right now, my train of thought is that I need to inflict some damage, and I need to hurt him back. I just wiped his army,